Welcome back, guys, to another Friday Gamer Log. As usual, I'll be talking about the games that I've been playing, games that will be coming up in the direct future for YouTube, and any games that I have bought or want to buy. So, without further ado, let's get this thing started. Alright, as far as Animal Crossing City Folk is concerned, I had another visit from Sahara. I ran around and asked my neighbors for some old carpets, but go figure that not a single one of them had any old carpet. While I was doing that, I found out that my neighbor Cookie was sick, so I bought some medicine and gave it to her. I also delivered a package from Elise to Rosie, which got me a kitty chair. Besides Sahara, I also had another visit from Wendell. As usual, I gave him something to eat, and he gave me a new design, which I stored at the Able Sisters store. I also did some fishing. I caught quite a few fish that I'm going to hold on to and give to Wendell whenever he visits my town next. My neighbor Ed lost the key to his house again, so I helped him get that while I was fishing for Wendell, and he gave me a Mega Dingloid, which is pretty cool. I mentioned in last Friday's Gamer Log that I bought Mega Man Battle Network for my birthday. Well, I started to file in it and I made quite a bit of progress. I went through all of the intro story and tutorials. I learned about how everyone's ovens were going crazy, and I also went to Lan's school and learned all about how the game's battle system works. Once school was over, I had a battle against Dex's Gutsman. I lost the first round against him, but I came back strong on the second attempt and emerged victorious. From there, I continued with the story. I went back to Lan's house and explored around the net as Mega Man for a while. I found the lost robot and brought it back to safety, and then after that, the oven in Lan's house started to go berserk, so I had to send Mega Man in to figure out what was going on. After exploring the oven for a while, Mega Man got knocked out by some fireballs, so I had to get one of Lan's special tools out of his room, and I used it to douse some of the fire that was covering the oven. Mega Man wound up being okay, and I explored deeper into the oven, which was whenever I met up with Fireman. The battle against Fireman wasn't too tough since I was more familiar with the game's battle system, and he went down without any trouble. If there weren't any decent chips to use on certain turns, then I would add more memory to Mega Man, and that would give me more chips to use against Fireman in the next turn. I explored around after the battle with Fireman was over. I found a couple of good items at Mail's house, as well as an item that he apparently couldn't decode. I continued with the story once I was finished exploring. I had to sneak into school because Lan overslept, and that's whenever I met up with a guy named Mr. Higsby. Shortly after meeting him, trouble started happening at the school, and the students started to get hypnotized, and of course it was up to Mega Man to save the day. Before we could do that though, Mail gave us the battle chip for Roll, which I put into my folder right away. I really enjoyed this part of the game because it had a lot of teamwork between Lan and Mega Man. There were several parts where there would be a lock blocking Mega Man's progress and I'd have to figure out the answer to unlocking it. Most of the time the questions were something like, how many chairs are in this room, or how many doors are there in the school? And I would have to switch back to Lan and go figure out the answer for Mega Man, and I thought that was really cool. About halfway through the area, Mega Man got stuck in a trap and I had to free him. This part took me a little while to figure out because I didn't realize that I was supposed to check all of the computers in the AV room in order to free Mega Man. The part that took me the longest, however, was whenever I had to find Miss Mary's school ID. I just couldn't seem to find her. I did find a nice recovery chip while I was searching for her, though. Right after I got the school ID and broke the lock, I encountered the next boss of the game, which was Numberman, who belonged to Mr. Higsby. The battle against Numberman was actually a lot of fun. So far he's my favorite boss here in Mega Man Battle Network. I just used normal buster shots to destroy his orbs and time bombs, and I used my more powerful chips to do damage to Numberman himself. This battle was really easy, but also a lot of fun. Once Numberman was defeated, Lan fixed everything at the school. I continued with the story from there, and I found out that the Metro line had been finished but couldn't go anywhere. Soon after discovering that, I got an email from Dex, and he challenged me to a match against his Gutsman, so I went to his house and accepted the challenge. I defeated Gutsman on the first try this time, and I got a link from Dex as well as a chip to use Gutsman in battle, which I put in my folder right away. I went back home after that and I jacked into the net. I made my way to the area where I could use the link that Dex gave me, and I made my way deeper into the net from there. I died as I was making my way through the new area. I met up with the merchant on my second attempt at going through the net, and I bought some power-ups for Mega Man. I safely made my way through the new area after that, and I found the source of the problems with the Metro line, which was none other than Stone Man. The boss battle against Stone Man was incredibly easy. He never moved, and that made him a very easy target for my most powerful weapons. Heck, I only took one hit during the entire fight. It was still a fun battle, though. After Stoneman was defeated, Mega Man destroyed the rock that was blocking the way for the Metro line. I made my way to the Metro line after that and I took it to the government complex. I met up with an environmentalist named Sal shortly after I arrived there and she challenged me to a battle against her Woodman. It took me 7 tries, but I finally defeated Woodman and Sal gave me a link for defeating her. From there I went to the office where Lan's dad works. I was supposed to get a power-up from Mega Man there, but his dad wasn't in the office. I gave a message to one of the robots that was working inside of his computer and I got his computer address while I was there as well. I left the government complex after that and I explored around AC/DC town for a bit. I managed to find a Recover 50 chip inside a male's piano, and I also got an address for Dex from the inside of his computer. Once I was finished exploring, I went back home and rested up. That advanced the story, and whenever I woke back up I found out from Lan's mom that there was no water anywhere. Class was cancelled at school due to the water shortage as well. I challenged Dex to another battle while I was at school and I beat his Gutsman on the first try. I didn't get anything for winning though. I left the school after that and started making my way to the government complex. I got an email from Yai whenever I arrived at the Metro line, and the email was telling me about a boy that had been kidnapped. I continued making my way to the government complex and I caught a glimpse of a net battler in the waterworks department. I decided to follow him, but I needed an ID in order to operate the elevator that went into the area that he entered, so I went up to Lan's dad's office and I got his ID. I jacked into one of the computers in the pump area and I found a Recover 200 chip, which I equipped right away. I started to leave the government complex after that, but Lan and Mega Man thought that something was strange about what was going on, so I hid out in Lan's dad's office until everyone had went home, and then I returned to the pump area and attempted to check out the net for myself, but I was caught by a woman as I was about to jack in. She only told me to go home though, and then she left, which of course I didn't listen to her and I jacked in anyway, only to find out that a lot of stuff had been frozen in the net. I made my way through the area and I eventually came across Proto Man, who belonged to the net battler that we met earlier. I continued deeper into the net after the cutscene was over and I came across what appeared to be a friendly Navi. I didn't think much of it and I continued onward until I eventually had a mini-boss battle against 2 giant rat machines. The battle against them was fairly easy. They didn't move around much, so I was mostly just dodging their ice blocks while attacking with whatever I could in between their shots and healing when necessary. They knocked me down to pretty low health, but I still defeated them without much trouble. After defeating them, Mega Man melted the ice on the pump water supply program. I went back to AC/DC town immediately after that and found out that the water problem still hadn't been fixed, and that the real problem was in the water filtering program, and that Lan and Mega Man had only made things worse by getting in the net battler's way. From there I started to go back to the government complex, and I got yet another email from Yai whenever I got to the Metro line. She told me that the last name of the boy that was kidnapped was Freud, and Lan and Mega Man recognized that name from one of the employees at the government complex. From there I started looking around for the kidnapped boy, and that's whenever I came across an old man who lost his dentures. I found the dentures in the park and then I took them back to him. He gave me a Recover 80 chip for doing that, and then I continued searching for the kidnapped boy. I talked to Yai and she told me that her family had a lot of cars, so I started searching all of the cars in the town, and that's whenever I found the boy. He gave me a handle program and a message for his dad, and then I made my way back to the pump area at the government complex and I entered the net once again. I used the handle program to deactivate a pump so that I could progress deeper into the area until I eventually came across a battle between Iceman and Proto Man. It was revealed that Iceman belonged to the father of the boy that was kidnapped. Just then Proto Man and the net battler got an email and they had to leave all of a sudden. Mega Man tried to reason and explain what was going on to Iceman, but he didn't listen and a battle started between the two. The battle against Iceman was a lot of fun. I got hit by almost all of his ice grenades and I had to heal a lot, but other than that the rest of his attacks were pretty easy to avoid. I just used normal buster shots to destroy the ice cubes that he created, and I used my more powerful chips to damage him. After the battle was over, Mega Man delivered the message to Iceman, and Dr. Freud had Iceman remove the ice that was in the area. From there, the scene switched over to Proto Man threatening the Navi that I saw earlier, who apparently goes by the name of Color Man. I look forward to fighting Color Man eventually. Dr. Freud and his son were reunited after that, and then I saw a scene with Lord Wily and some of the other WWW members discussing plans on what's to come. From there, the scene shifted to the net where Roll gave Mega Man a letter from Mail to give to Lan. The letter was saying that she wanted us to meet her at the Metro line to talk about Yai's birthday. I went ahead and stopped there, though. I also did some more gaming in Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and also for the 3DS. The first thing that I did was I leveled up my Donkey Kong amiibo to level 50, which didn't take too long to do. I let my Mega Man and Donkey Kong amiibos fight in several 8-player smashes. That earned me some nice stuff, like custom moves, custom badges, money, and more. After that, I worked on completing a couple of challenges. I completed 4 challenges total, 3 on the Wii U and 1 on the 3DS. For the 3DS, I completed the Collect All Hats, Outfits, and Special Moves challenge. I had 3 hats left to get, and I got them all by playing through Classic with the DLC characters. Now I only have one more challenge left to complete on the 3DS version, and it's the Play 40 Hours or More of Smash challenge. For the Wii U version, I completed the Clear Classic on 8.0 or higher with 2 characters and Clear Classic on 8.0 or higher with 3 characters challenges. I also completed the Collect All CDs challenge, so now I have all the music in the game, which is pretty awesome. I worked some more on the Crate Breaking challenge and Trophy Rush, but I still haven't completed that yet. I also played some Smash with my friends Seth and Colin. Me and Colin worked some on the co-op events. We've completed all of them, but we still have to get the rewards for 2. We still have to do this one, which is annoying because you have to defeat 2 gigantic metal Game & Watches, and it's pretty tough to knock them anywhere, especially whenever they can kill you after like 2 hits. We also need to complete the Ultimate Battle Challenge on hard for the reward. Me and Seth just did the usual thing. We teamed up and beat up on some computers, which is always fun to do. Coming up this week as far as YouTube gaming is concerned, we're going to be making more progress in the blind run of Metroid the Other M for the Nintendo Wii. As far as video game pickups is concerned, Earthbound Zero has finally been released here in the US, and it's been renamed Earthbound Beginnings. I went ahead and downloaded it, and I'm hoping to see an official release for Mother 3 eventually as well. I also bought the second bundle of Smash Bros. DLC with Ryu, Lucas, Roy, and the new stages and costumes. I currently have all of my Mii fighters dressed up in the DLC outfits, my Mii sword fighters dressed up as Zero, my Mii gunners dressed up as Mega Man EXE, and my Mii brawlers dressed up as Akira. I also bought the 2 new stages from the newest wave of DLC as well, but I didn't buy any of the new costumes. Alright, time for the question of the week. The question of the week this week is for all of you Final Fantasy fans out there. The question of the week this week is, what is your favorite Final Fantasy class? Is your favorite a magical-based job like the White Mage or Black Mage? How about a physical-based job like the Warrior or Monk? What is your favorite Final Fantasy class? And don't forget that if you want to submit your own question of the week, please feel free to do so. Just be sure to submit it through a PM and not a comment. Any questions submitted through comments will not be included in next Friday's Gamer Log. So yeah, that's what I've been up to lately. I got really addicted to Mega Man Battle Network and I've been really enjoying it. The new Smash Bros. DLC is really cool too, and I'm also really happy that Earthbound Beginnings was finally released here in the US. Whatever the case though, be sure to keep an eye out for more on the blind run of Metroid the Other M coming up this week. And well, that is it for this Friday's Gamer Log, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Thank you for watching.